everyone. Gonna talk today about Borne by Jeff Vandermeer. And in reading this, I came to the conclusion that I have been just greatly influenced by science fiction and fantasy, because the number one word people use to describe this book is weird. Well, I just didn't think it was all that weird. There's one weird thing in it in comparison to everything else. Amongst all this bio shape-changing stuff, there's this King Kong or Godzilla-sized bear, and it flies. So that's kind of weird. But even when I was reading it, I thought, I wonder if there's some explanation behind why it flies. And you vaguely get a possible explanation. And what's interesting about it that way, I don't know how vague, maybe Vandermeer just didn't care, but at the same time, it helps illustrate that throughout the book, you're not really sure about anything, about who's who, who's telling the truth, who's lying, and what their motivations is. So you get this nice little underlying suspense because you're just never really sure about anything. This bear has a couple of large symbols that follow it. One, it is a creation, of course, from what's called the Company. In this, you're in a basically a post-apocalyptic setting, and this company created bio stuff which ruins the environment. There is this one woman referred to as the magician who has control of the city itself to some degree. The company, or I should say, I feel like she's rebelling against the company. It would be more accurate to say there is the company itself on the outskirts of the city, and on another side of the city are the mountainous warrens where Rachel, our main character, she is, everything's from her viewpoint. That's where she lives with her fellow named Wick. And so this bear represents industrialization and how little it cares for people and the environment. There's a trickle-down symbol here because this bear walks around or flies around and is sort of indifferent, but occasionally drops some morsels, like food grows out of it and drops to the ground, and people go scavenging for it. There's an indifferent God symbol there. Here's some stuff for you, but I rule this place, and on accident it could just kill you, or on purpose just decide to eat you, or whatever it does. It has little proxies. I shouldn't say little proxies, they're a little in comparison, but they're full-size bears that go around doing its will and killing things it feels like killing, that kind of thing. So Rachel finds this little creature that's Borne right there, if you want to have a little look at him. And it's sort of like, let's say, a child finding a little lost puppy, wants to raise it, be the mother figure to that puppy, and talk to it like it's another human, but it's a dog who doesn't understand. But in this case, Borne does understand because Borne is intelligent. I never got the feeling throughout the book that Borne was particularly a genius. He's not stupid, but he's completely unwise, and he's not sure what he is, and he's not sure what he's for, and he's seeking his purpose. He has an instinct that he has to resist, and you can read about that. But otherwise, he tries. He's trying to fit in with Rachel and Wick, and he kind of does with one, but not the other. There's this adorable scene in here. Someone told me that what we find horrible, Jeff Vandermeer finds kind of cozy and lovely. And there's a scene that illustrates that in here, where this monster, Borne, is having tea time, essentially. Rachel comes over, he uses part of his body to form a chair for her to sit in. There's corpses hanging on the wall as decoration. He's being all friendly, and look at me, look what I'm doing. I'm out on my own, I'm grown now. It's just hilarious, and I laughed out loud at it. Borne here, though, I've seen a few shows here and there, like documentaries, where someone gets and raises what is essentially a wild animal of some sort. When it starts to get too big, it's got to go get released in the wild. And if you follow it afterwards, it's not exactly pleasant. Maybe it's a predator, or it gets killed itself, that sort of thing. it's sort of a harsh reality compared to the fantasy you're projecting onto this pet of yours, that it may be something that you might find unpleasant, and that's a thing that follows through here. I don't know what else I can tell you about it without going into full-blown spoilers. Oh, something I wanted to, like, reading a Vandermeer book. Let's see if I can find it. I know what the page is here on 257. I just like the way this is written, so give me just a second here. When I started back into watchfulness, there was an overpowering smell in the air, like an ancient waveless ocean buried in its own silt and salt and reflections. The darkness had arranged itself into something that resembled intent. That's a great line. The plain before me that had conveyed even in the murk the sense of its ridges now had smoothed out into a uniform glistening black layer. A kindness, really, a reminder, a memory to soothe the tiny flashes and flickers of 1,000 fireflies like the ones on the ceiling at the balcony cliffs. A soft golden blinking from the ground that wished for me to be calm. That's what it's like reading a Vandermeer book. Just great prose, great paragraphs, great themes, and weirdness if you want to get into it. Now, I'm not done with Vandermeer. I did read the Southern Reach trilogy and got videos on that if you wish to look at them. Next is a novella in the same, these are both these books here in the same, I assume, general city. So we have The Strange Bird and Dead Astronauts. Both of these items are mentioned in that book. So we have a 109-page novella and then a full-length novel here. I was thinking I could finish Borne and this novella by now and do a video on both, but I didn't make it. So I'm going to try to do both of these and do a video on each, or do them both at once whenever I feel like getting to them. But by next week, all of these will be finished. And let me throw those away. So after that, it appears what I'm going to hit, because I was going to do the third book after these two, but that won't come out till the 24th, and before that I'll probably just go ahead and start this one. I've been kind of harping how curious I am about that one. And I was watching a video read by Fred, and he was talking about reading books that you already own. And I expressed how bad I am at that. I've got 20-something books over here. I've read, I believe, 15, 16, 17 books now this year, and 10 of them have all been new. Not ones that I already own. That's how bad I am. And in fact, I bought 2 more since then. The Elder Race and Web of Angels. This Elder Race may be something, if I'm reading the description correct, hey, we live in a fantasy world. What's this? Technology. And then this little jobby do. I am a cyberpunk fan. Web of Angels by John M. Ford. This predates Neuromancer by 4 years, so I can't wait to get to that. I might read that before Elder Race. We'll see. I'm not sure what I'll jump into after all these just yet. It might be those. We will see what happens. That's it. That's all I want to talk about. Finally jumped on board, everybody harping about it. I enjoyed it immensely. Jeff Vandermeer is a really good writer. He's got more books out, but I've got other books to read, so I'm not going to jump on his gravy train anymore for a little while. Give him a break, but I'm sure I'll be back reading more Jeff Vandermeer at some point. So becoming one of my favorite authors. That's it for me. Hope you enjoy, and this gives you some ideas about what you want to read too. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day, lovely weekend.